Hey everybody. So this is actually a really long overdue video. Um, I was actually supposed to make this video more than a year ago, surprisingly, but I finally got around to making it. You guys may have remembered the server from one of my phone system tours, but this is my Dell PowerEdge R720 server. It is a 2U rack mount server. I don't have a rack for it, of course, so it's just sitting in the floor of a closet. But this is the server I have, and I'm going to be showing you guys why I have this. So, this is actually where most of my home lab exists, and for those of you who don't know, a home lab is basically, it can be something like a old laptop or a server or even a rack of servers in your house where you get to experiment with various different things on your network. You can set things up like a file share. You can break things on your server. You can set up a phone system. You can set up a website. You can set up email. You can set up like networking stuff like DHCP, stuff like that. You can run Windows Server. You can play with Active Directory. There are a lot of things you can do in a home lab. And I believe there's actually a huge community about this. But for me, I only have one device, well, one main device in my home lab, and that is my server. So this, again, is a Dell PowerEdge R720. I got this used off of eBay for around $250, which I thought at the time, I think was a pretty good deal. It has two Intel Xeon processors. I don't have the exact model of it. I'll check the processor type when I remote into it. But I'm not actually supposed to have the server. So basically, I got this server from a New York-based company named Build My Server on eBay. And when I was taking a look at it, it was one of a pretty good deal I saw. For $250, you get two Intel Xeon processors, 128 gigs of memory. You have to bring your own hard drives. But I thought it was a pretty good deal. And it also came with an iDRAC Enterprise license. So I'll get into iDRAC later. But I asked the seller when this would be restocked, and they actually told me they had one left because it was some sort of technical glitch that it was marked out of stock. So quickly bought it, and it arrived at my house around 3 to 4 days later. And originally, me and my dad, we set it up downstairs. It required two people to lift it up, but it originally sat downstairs on the desk. You would see that in my previous videos, but now, for the most part, it's been moved upstairs and it's hidden away. So I'm gonna take off the front plate of this. So in the front, let's see, it's giving me an error saying that it needs two power supplies. But anyways, if you notice in here, I have a 1 terabyte Crucial solid state drive. There's nothing else. It's just a bunch of dummy caddies. I did buy hard drive caddies for this server. I believe they were around $3 to $5 each. But then I bought the wrong size, so I sent it back. But I didn't really go back and purchase the correct size, so I just put a piece of paper to prop up the drive so it's stuck in the saddle port without damage. So yeah, most of these are basically just dummy caddies that Dell put in. I don't understand why Dell doesn't populate it with actual caddies. Instead, they make you buy it yourself, which I find is kind of stupid, but it's fine. Now, in terms of how I have this hooked up to my network, on the back, we have four, I believe, four gigabit Ethernet ports. One is plugged in and going to my router, and then I have a power cord plugged into one of the power supplies. This server is actually meant to have two power supplies plugged into it for power redundancy, but I don't really plan on doing that, so I just have one plugged in right now. That one is plugged into an extension cord, which goes up to the monitor. At one point, I did have the server hooked up into this monitor and plugged into the VGA port right there, but after a while, I decided to just remove it because it kind of looked messy. Oh yeah, here is the solid state I put in. It is a Crucial MX500. The reason why I installed it was I used to have a slow mechanical hard drive in the server from my old HP laptop, but then that one just went bad, so I tossed it out, installed a new hard drive, I cloned all the data, and it's working faster now, which is nice. So yeah. And the server is plugged into this power cord right here. So let's go ahead and open up the server. The PowerEdge R720 does have chassis intrusion detection, so once I open it, it's gonna start yelling at me, and the fans are gonna ramp up, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay. So right here, whatever you see marked in blue, that means it may only be removed while the server is powered off. If you see something in orange, such as the fans, it means it is hot swappable. Now in this case, the only thing that's mainly hot swappable is the fans. You can demonstrate that. See, and then you can quickly replace it. Now put it back in before it ramps up. Yep, there it goes. Okay. And chassis intrusion switch is actually located right here, so I'll just push that down so the server thinks that the chassis is closed. But in the front here, we have the drive bays, and then back here we have the Intel Xeon processors, which I will remove, even though it's supposed to be only removed while the server is offline. But there we go. Those are the two heat sinks, and you can see all that memory. Now this server is not configured with ECC memory, which is error correcting code, so it's not very resilient to memory errors. I think I've actually had memory errors before, but that was when I was trying to run like some weird stuff on the server. But other than that, it's working great. I do know you can install some graphics cards into the server, however I don't, and I don't really need any. And most of the things I virtualize on this server is actually just my phone system and a Discord bot. Oh, okay. My bad. Let me just put this back on. Okay. Basically, all I run is just mainly I run Windows Server 2019 on this server, and then using Hyper-V, which is a virtualization software. I run FreePBX, which is my phone system. I have a Linux virtual machine that runs a Discord bot, and then I also run another Linux VM that runs Docker, and it runs Discourse, which is a forum software that I use. So yeah, it's a pretty good server. I've had it for around 1 year now. I think this is one of the best purchases I've ever made for the Homelab. I mean, well, it's mainly the only one. But yeah, so moving on to the back, continuing from there, we have the 2 power supplies, our 4 Ethernet jacks. I believe that's an RS232 port. We got a VGA port. Let's see, we got some USB ports back there, and then we have a iDRAC port. Now let me get into what iDRAC is. So basically, what iDRAC is when this server is powered off, well, you can't really fully power off the server. There's something called iDRAC, which is called Integrated Something Remote Access Something. I don't know what it stands for. But iDRAC is basically a function on the server which allows you to remotely manage the server. So if the server is off, there's a little card in the server that remains on 24/7, and you can log into that card remotely, and then you can remotely start up the server. You can remotely stop the server, monitor the fans, the CPU temperature. You can actually I'll actually do a demonstration of that shortly. But yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, on the front, I believe you can install a CD-ROM drive or tape drive in there. You have VGA port, power button. you have your system identifier light. So you have these in a rack, and you can remotely toggle the system identifier mode, which flashes the information icon in the front and changes the power LED in the back to blue. And when it flashes like that, it allows you to identify systems quickly if it's in a rack, because you don't want to pull out the service tag thing and then go through that for thousands of servers. You don't want to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna turn that mode off. You have a one-line LCD display with some options there. Service tag tray. I believe you have this area to put in your own asset tag, write something there. And then you have your drive. So this one is configured to have only 2.5-inch drives. Is it 2.5-inch drives? I'm not sure. But it's the variant that has only the small drives. There is a variant where you can have 3.5-inch hard drives, like only 12 of them, I believe. And then there's a variant where you can have 2.5 drives all across the front. And then there's also a variant where you can put, actually no, I think you can put some hard drives in the back as well if you really need to. A lot of Dell's PowerEdge servers are purpose built. So either they're made for lots of RAM, computational power, storage applications, etc. That's something with Dell servers, they make it really purpose built. The thing with this server though is that it's actually very versatile. It's a balance, if you know what I mean. It's a balance of storage, it's a balance of computational power, it's a balance of memory. It's a very versatile server for most tasks. Now this server is around, oh man, it's almost old as me. So this server came out in around 2012. Actually, if we look on the service tag compartment, let's see here. Manufacturing year, where does it say? I'm trying to read my screen. Where does it say? 2013, I think. MFG date 2013. Yeah, so 2013 is when it was manufactured. So let's see. There. 2013, 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24. This server is 11 years old. All right. But the thing is, these enterprise servers are actually built to last. So, like, when compared to, say, I don't know, that dusty desktop from 2012, yeah, that one probably won't work anymore, or it's probably gonna be extremely slow. But this one is probably gonna keep chugging. I don't really plan on upgrading my server. I've had this for a year. It's working great for what I need it to do. I've never really needed to push its computational power much, and it's just a really good server. Yeah, and plus the thing, if you guys are wondering if maybe I'll get maybe a second server or something, the answer is probably no. I'm probably not gonna get multiple servers and put them in the rack. The reason is not because of the upfront cost much, but it's mainly about power consumption. So, like, I know a lot of people, they used to have a bunch of servers in a rack or something as a Homelab, but then as energy prices increase and the monthly bills get out of control, they scale down to like a Raspberry Pi or something. For me, the stuff I don't really. Oh yeah, Raspberry Pis. I know they're very popular within the Homelab community. There are a bunch of I think Raspberry Pis are kind of expensive for what they are, single board computers, but so, and plus I'm not very into single board computers. I kind of like the larger stuff, like these rack mount servers and such, and tower servers, those things. But I do know there are also a bunch of alternatives to the Raspberry Pi, such as what's it called, the Xena board or something. There are a lot of alternatives to Raspberry Pis and such for NUCs, and oh yeah, Intel NUC on those. But yeah, so back on topic, I don't really plan on getting more servers. I'm probably just gonna stick with one, maybe two the maximum. But yeah, I like using this server. I typically don't touch it often because like all the stuff I need to do, I can remote into it, and plus I don't really need to access it on a daily basis. Maybe I'll install more hard drives in the future and turn it into NAS for data storage because I know my phone's probably gonna run out of storage soon. 128 gigs of storage is not enough, so maybe I'll offload some of that data to my server. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions about my server, feel free to let me know. And if you guys do want to jumpstart your home lab, remember, if you want to start your home lab, you don't need to buy something like a server. You can start as small as a Raspberry Pi. You can use that old laptop in your closet. You can use any computer, really. You can use any computer as a home lab. In fact, your own main machine can become a home lab. All you need to do is install maybe virtualization or something. A home lab is basically like a sandbox for technology. All right. So thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions or you have any feedback, feel free to let me know. And wait, I can't end the video like that. Can't end the video like that, can I? I need to show you guys iDRAC and Windows Server. So let me just get my computer up. Let's see. Homelab, Dell, iDRAC. Privacy error, yes. Okay, let me just log in for you guys, and then I'll show you what iDRAC is. So this is the integrated Dell Remote Access Controller 7. Let's see. All right, so you can see we can like power off and on the server. We can do a server's power cycle. I can monitor the server health. Power supplies is actually fine right now. It's just because PS Power Supply 1 is not available, but that's okay. But we can access things like the thermal power monitoring. Let's see. Present 98 watts. So right now it's currently operating at 98 watts, but it can go all the way up to 980 watts. This is the power usage. Power usage skyrocketed, probably because of the fans ramping up. Let's see. Actually, no, it's, oh yeah, it spiked up, definitely. Let's see, last week, yep. Oh man, yeah. Let's see here. Yep, peaks we can check out, like, let's see, power configuration. Oh, we can set, that's how to control it. CPU voltages, everything seems pretty good. Temperatures, yep. Right now we are chilling around 50 degrees Celsius, which is pretty nice. I'm not sure about the thermal paste on the server. I've never really touched that. But yeah, pretty good. So we can check out logs as well. That's basically it. Let's go to remote desktop and log into the server. Oh, shoot. Okay. Let's log in. Yes. Configuring remote session. Preparing Windows. There we go. So yeah. I don't know why that is on there. Okay, so yep, that's server manager. Yep, I do not know why that is on here. I'm gonna probably remove that later. Cancel that. Let's see here. Task manager. Performance. So let me see. Show graphs. So we have an Two Intel Xeon 2680s clocked at 2.7 gigahertz. Two sockets, 16 cores and 32 processors. All right, we have 128 gigs of memory. And then let's see here. Updates are available. Got an update. 930 gigabytes of storage. Oh wow. How much storage am I using? Okay. But yep. Yeah, yep, of course updates are required. So yeah, that's about it for this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. And if you guys have general feedback about my home lab, feel free to let me know as well. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.